What's up guys, Jules here, personal trainer at Freeform Fitness in Wellington. We're here today to talk about the UpperCross syndrome. So what is the UpperCross syndrome? Well, let Google tell us. So Google describes the UpperCross syndrome when the muscles of your shoulders, neck, and chest are out of balance. Some too weak, some too tight. That's called the UpperCross syndrome. In side views of the upper body, these muscles seem to group in the shape of an X, which has led to the name of the condition. What does that mean? So basically what they're trying to tell you is your shoulders, chest, and neck muscles that are deep into your neck here are tight, all right? So they're pulling everything in, kind of like this, and you're rounding forward, all right? So for those muscles to be tight, that means that there's muscles back there that are not doing their job to pull you back up nice and straight. So those muscles are then lengthened. So tight as in short, weak as in lengthened. All right, so that's nice and all. You know what's weak, you know what's tight, but now your question is, how do I fix it? So today we'll show you 3 exercises or stretches that can help you bring your body back into its correct posture. So what muscles will we need to strengthen? Well, here's 3 of them. So we got the lower trapezius, which is located right below your shoulder blades, which keep your shoulder blades pinched back. We got the serratus, which again is shown tight when it's pulling your shoulder blades forward, which causes that rounded posture. And then we have the deep neck flexors, which allows you to tuck in your chin and then flex from the neck, all right? So these muscles will all need to be strengthened because they're always in that elongated position. So we want to strengthen those ranges of motion. So pulling your shoulder blades down and back, again through the serratus and the lower trap, and then tucking in the chin. So what do we do with the muscles that are overly tight? Well, you can stretch them or you can roll them out for a temporary release of the muscles. But when you think about it, they're tight for a reason. And what does tightness mean in the body? Well, tightness means that there's weakness somewhere. So in order to release the tightness, you need to strengthen the weaknesses. So what will fixing this UpperCross syndrome give you? Well, first of all, it'll release the tightness. It'll give you more mobility in your shoulder range of motion. And we all know that lack of mobility equals to tightness. Just imagine walking on ice. Walking on ice, your mobility is limited by the slippery ice. So you're tempted to crunch in everything, keep everything tight, and then take small steps. Because having your greater mobility will put you in danger of slipping. So weaknesses equals lack of mobility, and then lack of mobility makes things tight. So weaknesses make muscles tight, and tightness decreases your range of motion and mobility in those muscles. So the first exercise that we're going to do to try to correct our UpperCross syndrome is going to be a single arm row. So for the single arm row, we can use any machine. You can use a dumbbell. Better start with a standing position because it is easier to pack that shoulder, as I'm going to show you. So you're going to grab a staggered stance. Your first movement is going to be your shoulder, bringing it down and back, all right? So you're trying to bring your shoulder blade down to that back pocket. So you don't want to let the shoulder rise up. So you're gonna pull the shoulder down and back, and then you're gonna try to bring your elbow right to your hip. So again, we don't want to let the shoulder win and go up and curl forward. We want to make sure that we pack the shoulder down and back, release, down and back, pull through. The second exercise is going to be to target our lower traps. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a bent over Y raise. You can also do them with your chest supported, lying down on a bench on an incline. So essentially, it's going to look something like this here. So we're going to hinge at the hip. So we're going to push our hip back. We're going to make sure our back is nice and flat. Our thumbs, we want to make sure they point upwards towards the ceiling the whole time. All right? So we're going to hinge at the hips. We're going to start with our hands down. Again, we're going to pull our shoulder blades down into our back pocket, keep our chin tucked, and then we're going to raise the arms up right into a Y position as high as possible without letting the shoulders win again. So down and back, and then once we're at our final position, we're going to slowly bring everything down, keeping our chin tucked in and our shoulders down and back, and then we're going to go up again. And that's the Y raise. All right, so last but not least for the exercises, we're gonna do a chin tuck. As simple as possible. You can do those while you're sitting at the computer at work. So all we're gonna do is tuck our chins. So essentially you wanna start here, and all you wanna think of doing is driving your chin as far in as possible. All right, so you're gonna come here and then tuck it in and then release. So you don't want to bend as you do that. You want to make sure you're just tucking in, creating that double chin, and then relaxing. So you'll feel a tension in your traps while you do those, because you're trying to strengthen these muscles and your traps want to stretch out a little bit more. So give those exercises a try. I would recommend 2 to 3 sets of around 10 to 12 reps. You can do those anytime you want. They'll be very, very good at trying to fix that UpperCross syndrome. Next, we're going to go on to the stretches. So the first stretch that we're going to do is going to be for our pecs and shoulders. Very simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a wall or an object that's solid enough. We're going to push our hand into it, okay? And then we're going to slightly turn away, and then we're just going to push against it. So right now we're stretching out everything here, making sure it's nice and stretched out. Hold it for about 20 seconds. Another way you can do it, if that causes too much tension, is to go the other way around. So instead of pulling, you're pushing up against the wall or the machine. So that way, you're engaging those back muscles to get even stronger while stretching. So that's another way you can do this one. The next one, once again, is going to be very simple. Here's number 2. You're just going to bring your hands in your back here. And all we want to do here is rotate out, open the chest, and try to squeeze those shoulders down and back. All right? So you're pulling your hands down, opening up the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades. And we're just going to hold that for about 20 seconds. And then once you're done, you can release. And for a slightly different angle, I'm going to show you what it looks like from the back. So again, hands are coming back. You're gonna pull your shoulders together and back, down, and squeeze your shoulders together. The last thing we're gonna do for the traps is not a stretch, but it acts in a similar way. So we're gonna need a ball. It can be this just normal orange ball, tennis ball. Lacrosse balls are very, very good, although very, very hard. So at first I would recommend just starting with one of these. So basically we're gonna roll out our traps. So what we're gonna do is you need a wall. You're gonna put the ball on the wall and you're gonna lean on it right where your traps are. So your traps are right in the upper back, shoulder, neck area. All right, so that's your trap. And then you're just gonna roll on it until you find that weak spot, or that spot that really gets it, really aches. Once you found that, just stick on it, hold it, make sure you breathe through it, and then as it releases, just move on to the next one. Just keep going until you find those spots. And then once you're done, what I would recommend doing, because you're rolling it out, is to go right away into an exercise from the 3 that we showed you. There you have it. 3 exercises, 3 stretch for the UpperCross syndrome. If you have more questions, comment down below. Make sure to like this video, give it a thumbs up, help the channel grow, and we will see you in the next one.